that particular area, would be affected, isn't it? Because see, political situation there is influencing the people over there who indirectly would be or directly would be affecting the business organizations functioning over there. So that is how we should know that even political environment, the policy matters of the government and the legislature or laws framed by them, and its execution, and how, if any no infiltrations would happen, then what would be the judiciary effect of it. So these would be affecting the business organizations. Okay, see, the political system under democratic dispensation like ours, especially ours is a democratic setup, it consists of the mainly three basic structures at three levels, that is central government, state government, and local government. So, and each level you have different roles. Okay, that is legislative role, who makes laws, policies, okay, regulations. Then executive, they implement those laws given by the legislature. And then in case any discrepancies occurs, then there is a judiciary or law who would be like a watchdog or interpreting laws. Okay, so this is how the political situation, especially in our country, is. So you have to remember that there is legislative who makes law. Okay, that is parliament at the central level and the state assembly at the state level. Okay, they make policies, laws, and regulations, right? And then those must be executed. That should not be on papers. No, that law has to be implemented. Now, executives, they will implement, no, district collectors at the district levels, and also that is how the nomenclature would be. And then judiciary would be seeing that they are implemented properly or not. So here it is, see, central government, you have parliament, a law making body, and it contains MPs, you know that. And executive, it's a law executing body, no, the head of whom it is prime minister, and then the council of ministers. And then judiciary, you have now the apex court in our country is Supreme Court. Okay, so this is there at central government level. Okay, it's at central level. Then we have at a state level legislative, that is, it's a law making body. Somewhere we'll call it as Vidhan Sabha. Okay, that is legislative assembly, and it consists of MLAs, okay, members of legislative assemblies. Then we have executive here. Here, who would be the head at the state level? Chief Minister and his council of ministers. Then you have a judiciary body also, and the apex court in the state is High Court. So you have to remember that. And now at the local government, you have legislature, a lawmaking body, but here it is municipal council or sometimes Zilla Parishad. And here you have corporators or councillors in urban areas especially, and in Mufassil or rural areas we call them as ZP members. Okay, Zilla Parishad members. And then executive, a law body, no, municipal commissioner would be the head to execute those legislative made by municipal council and all, and his team, and CEO of Zilla Parishad and his teams. And judiciary definitely would be, no, a district court would be there, and then if they're not, they can approach state government. If not, then Supreme Court. That level of judiciary follows. Okay, so you have to remember that. Then you know our constitution is the highest and biggest constitution in the whole world, and it has got its first paper written, that is, we call it as a preamble. So in simple words, it's an introductory. The whole gist of what our constitution is written in few sentences and words in one preamble. Okay, so we call it as an introductory statement, which is self-explanatory. Okay, explanatory statement in a document that explain document's purpose and its underlying philosophy. Okay, thanks to B.R. Ambedkar ji for giving such a wonderful constitution, right? See, it itself is saying, see the preamble, we, the people of India, say we, a team, right? So people of India have solemnly resolved, so we have resolved ourselves to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status, and also no of opportunity, equality in opportunity also, so and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our constituent assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this constitution. Now, here we have to know, as a business people, as a commerce students, or as a management students, that preamble is saying that it's sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic, and republic, right? So these things you should keep in mind. See, when you are making a vision statement or mission statement or some objectives, you have to see that it is giving all the citizens justice. That is when you do take a recruitment process also, you have to see that the best should get, and opportunity to all must be given. So you cannot just say, oh, these people, no, black people should not apply, no, like that. Okay, so justice, social equality, economic and political right. And even no, when you are making any policy regarding the benefit of the employees, you have to give them some liberty of thought, expression, and also that's the reason that democratic management has come, or participative management has come. That is, you're involving all the employees of all the levels, no, low level, middle level, and all, and then making a policy. Now this is all no because of the constitutional rights given by the constitution in our country. So that is why this as a business people, we have to know what our preamble is saying, because it is directly related to the policies we make at the organizational level, because we have to function and operate at the local government level, at the state government level, and at the central level government level, isn't it? So therefore we have to know that things are happening according to the constitution. Okay, then you all know, you might be learning in your social studies, no, right from 6th standards, some fundamental rights are given to us and some fundamental duties to perform, right? See, among the fundamental rights, right to freedom. So you'll all agree that freedom is the most cherished desire of every living being. See, even though if your mummy and papa say and lock you up in a room and all, you will just revolt against them, isn't it? Because you want freedom at every level, right? So we do want to cherish the desire of being free, right? Free to give opinions, free to give advices and all, right? So that is there. So human beings definitely want and need freedom. So you all want to have freedom. The Constitution of India, it is providing us this fundamental right, right? Under Article 19 to 22. Okay, so these 4 categories are there, right? 6 freedoms, Article 19 of the Constitution. Right, number 1 is freedom of speech and expression. Everybody has got the right to express their thoughts, yeah, their opinions, right? Their suggestions, their advices, whatever, the anxiety or what emotional, anything what they are having freedom to give their expression. Number 2 is freedom to assemble peacefully and without arms, right? You can gather, you can have a meeting, it should be a constructive discussion and all, but you should not assemble with arms and ammunitions. Okay, without arms and ammunitions, you can gather and talk about anything, any policy matter or anything you can discuss. Next is freedom to form associations and unions. Yes, you can form some associations, no, like charitable associations, or no, RTC employees association, or government teachers association, whatever you can form, right? because the same like-minded people, they have their own problems and all, so that you can represent to the government. Okay, so that's the reason that unions are formed. Okay, so constitution is giving us this right also. Then we have freedom to move freely throughout the territory of India. So no one will stop you. That if you want to cross Telangana, right, enter into Maharashtra, or enter into Ladakh, or enter into Kanyakumari, or enter into Gujarat, or enter into Meghalaya. So there are no restrictions. Okay, you need not have a passport or a visa for this. Yeah, you are an Indian citizen, you can freely move within the boundaries of the country. Next is freedom to reside and settle in any part of India. Okay, you can settle down in any part of India. So that the reason no mobility of labor is there from one place to another, right? In our place, we have employees from no laborers from UP and MP, Bihar, and all right. Everywhere you find them. So that is no mobility, free to move anyway for employment or for living or for entertainment or for anything, right? Free to move. Next is freedom to practice any profession or to carry out any occupation, trade, or business. Okay, so you're free to open any business, but thing is, it should not be illegal, right? So you have to think about it. Yeah, see, we do want to have rights, but when it comes to our duty, no, we sometimes move back, right? But we have to perform our duty as well as an Indian citizen, right? So there are some fundamental duties also. Got the chat here. Okay, fine, nothing. Right. See, number one is to abide by the constitution. That means you should follow whatever is there in the constitution, and you should respect it. What the ideals and the institutions, especially the national flag and national anthem, right? You should salute your national anthem, especially for two national festivals, that is Independence Day and Republic Day, right? That is your, as an Indian citizen, it is your primary duty to respect national flag and no sing national anthem, right? Next is, so that's the reason, no, even managers, though they celebrate this Independence Day and Republic Day to have a patriotism, to bring a teamwork, to bring Indianism in them, right? So as a business, we should know these duties as well. Okay. Next is to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Now, that is a reason that you will find no the biopics of or the biography of, yeah, of many freedom struggles being taught right from third standard onwards. You have Bhagat Singh's lesson, you have Gandhiji's lesson, no, right? Why? Because no, the ideals they have imparted, the noble deeds they have done, they did it. We have to inspire and safeguard the integrity of our nation. Okay, so that you have to cherish, right? Next, to uphold and protect the sanity, unity, and integrity of India. It's a primary duty of every citizen in India to safeguard integrity. There should not be quarrels on the basis of caste or religion or gender or color rather, or race, right? So there should not be these things. So you should safeguard the integrity of the people, unity of the people, or India, right? Next is to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do. So you should be ready. So you should be ready as a soldier, not just at the boundaries, here in the home also. When India calls for you, you have to render national services. That is the reason that you have seen this patriotism more in the corona period, when the nation, the prime minister is calling for you to just beat with a spoon and a plate, and then say go away corona and all that. There's nothing scientific in that, but still everybody has done, because they have got the feeling that yet it should go and humanity should exist, isn't it? So that is how whenever any national service is called upon, you should be ready to do it. If they tell you to plant trees, you should do it. Yeah, you should gather in a human chain for the betterment of any noble cause. You have to do it, right? So that is it. Next is to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood. Yeah, amongst all the people of India, and to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. So, women should be respected, women empowerment should be there, women engagement should be there in all activities. So, you should respect the minority gender, right? With no, with equality. Okay, so the harmony must be there, right? Next is to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. Yes. See, we call Indian culture as one, but still in Indian culture, you have different cultures, right? You have a Gujarati culture, you have a Punjabi culture, you have a Meghalaya's culture, you have a Tamil culture, you have a Keralites culture, right? There are different cultures, but you have to, and what you have to do, you have to preserve this. You have to value each culture because it's composite. So that's why they say unity in diversity. And now most of our see, we as a business manager or no entrepreneur, you should know that there are composites. Even when you're working in an MNC, also you should know that how a Keralite should be your peer in your team, right? Then you can coop up and then do the project properly. Yes, so that's how. Not just this our culture, MNCs should know about. If the employee is from China or Japan or US and all, you should know their culture also, so that you can work in harmony with their culture in a team. Okay, so that's the why reason that you should know these things, right? Next is to protect and improve the natural environments, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife. So, when you start a business, you should see that forests are not deforested. Okay, lakes are kept clean, right? Rivers clean, wildlife, no, it should be protected. See, there are so many distinct species now. Dinosaurs we have heard, but even sparrow we cannot see nowadays. In our childhood, we used to hear that noise and get up early morning with such a beautiful, melodious songs from them. But now we don't see even those sparrows. So why? Because deforestation and all, global warming and so. But as a citizen, at least now we have to protect this. So when you start a business also, so keep in mind that these are not affected: forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife. Okay. Next is to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. Yeah, that is superstitious, black magic, no, which were prevailing in good olden days. But sorry to say that even no intellectuals believe in these things. So if we just tie a no this what something no black thread onto the neck, no spirits would attack that and will tie it, right? Is there anything logic? So what our constitution is saying that go away from superstitions. So think properly, scientifically, with scientific temperament, and be rational. What is good and what is bad? What is things happening, right? That is what scientific temper must be there, and humanism, human kindness should be there, and spirit of inquiry and then reform. You have to inquire about the facts, and then reforms must be brought. No, that's the reason that no, this sati system has been abolished, no, by Brahma Samaj and Arya Samaj and all, because they have inquired about it, that this is the evil thing happening with the women. Women must be a part. She should be inclusive in the development, economic development process. So that's why they have removed all these things. Child marriages also, and widow remarriages is a good concern. So they have got it. So such reforms are being brought. So you have to bring some reforms in your business entities also, to safeguard public property and not to use violence. Yes, public property, buses or roads or dams or trees, whatever, public property, that should be protected. You should not misuse it. Yeah. and don't use violence. Peace is the nature of all Indians. So therefore, peace and harmony should be maintained, right? So these are few of the fundamental duties we should know. Next is to serve towards excellence. So always try to do things in an excellent way and collective way. Okay. So besides, a new duty has been added after the passage of Right to Education Act 2009. A parent or a guardian has to provide opportunities for the education of his child between the age of 6 and 14 years. So compulsory education for 6 to 14 years when the Right to Education Act is passed. So these are the fundamental duties of us. Though you are no, a parent, though you are a graduate, though you are a businessman or a profession and all, you have to do these duties properly. So when you, as a HRM student or a management student, it is your primary duty to understand that fundamental rights you are cherishing and then performing duties as well, keeping in mind the national integrity of the country, right? Next, we have directive principles of state for policies. See, directive principles, central would be directing, giving some suggestions, no, and directing so that that policy can be implemented throughout the country, right? So here we can classify these directive principles into three categories. Number one is socialistic, number two is Gandhian, and the third one is liberal intellectual. Now let us see what is the socialistic directives. See, principle among this category of directives are securing welfare of the people. Article 38 is saying this. That is, number one is securing welfare of the people. Yeah, your first thing should be that people should be benefited. People should be benefited with the three things: food, clothing, and shelter. Their welfare lies with these three elements. So these three elements must be given to the poor people, and you have to look after that. Poor should not become poorer and rich should not become richer and richer. Okay, a balance must be brought and through some policies. Okay, so number one. Number two is securing proper distribution of material resources of the community as to best subserve the common good, that is equal pay for equal work, protection of childhood and youth against exploitation. So Article 39 is saying that equality must be given. Everybody must be given opportunity. Children from 6 to 14 must be given education. Youth should be sent to take graduation degrees. They should be given some jobs. Yeah. And there should not be any discrimination in pay. Women, no, especially in the labor, where I have seen while we were constructing or else, male were given more remuneration, wages, I can say, than the woman is. So such things should not be there. So equal, if the work is same, if there is a labor mason and a male mason, and if you're giving 300 per day, you have to give to that woman mason also 300 per day. So that should be the equality, yeah, regarding remuneration. That is what directive principle is saying. Next is curing right to work, education, etc. That is 41 article is saying, yes, everybody has got the right to work. Okay, you cannot stop them. You cannot do this work. It is our work only. We only have to do. Yeah, no. Yeah, you can do your goldsmith work or a cobbler work or anything, right? So right to work is there. Next is securing just and humane conditions of work and maternity relief. Article 42 is saying, right? Maternity relief must be given. So that's the reason that 6 months maternity leave is given to women and 2 months for the father. Okay, paternal relief is given. And humane conditions must be, good temperature, lighting must be good, no slippery floors and all in the place where they are working, right? So that is what. So human conditions of work and maternity leave must be given to all. Next, we have Gandhian directives. So in this, there are several arts, right? We have, principle among them are, number one is to organize village panchayatis, right? At the village level only, village panchayatis must be there. Problem at the grassroots level should be uh, ruled out there only. Okay, so village panchayatis must be organized. Next is to secure living wage, decent standard of life, and to promote cottage industries, right? So you should not ignore minimum wages. Okay, minimum wages must be provided. Though that is the reason that Mahatma Gandhi minimum wages scheme has come, right? So that is there, and then standard of living, decent standard, at least no toilets and water facility must be there, and good health conditions must be given, right? Then you have to promote cottage industries as well, not just this middle level industries and large scale or middle scale industries, but small scale industries and cottage industries, even handicraft industries must be safeguarded. Okay, next is free and compulsory education to all the children up to 14 years of age, right? To promote economic and educational interest of the weaker sections of the people, particularly scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So SC, ST. So that's the reason that no, many gurukulas have come, SC gurukulas, BC gurukulas, and all. That is free education. All scholarships are given. There are low scholarship to go have foreign degrees also. They are provided, right? Then we have, yeah, to enforce prohibition of intoxicating drinks and cow slaughter, and to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on scientific lines. So no alcohol and all these things must be prohibited, right? And you have to stop this cow slaughter, and agriculture and must be improved, animal husbandry must be improved, using scientific lines. Okay, next is the liberal and intellectual derivatives or directives, sorry. Principles among these are, number one is to secure uniform civil code throughout the country. Yeah, so uniform civil code must be there throughout the country. To separate the judiciary from the executive, yeah, there must be a demarcation between executive and judiciary. And to protect monuments of historical and national importance, yeah, Archaeological Department of India, ASI, would see these things, that any historical place, they say that something is found in that area and all, they'll just go and see and keep it very safe. Okay, because history matters, it reveals the civilization of those period. You can learn about it, so they safeguard that. And next is to promote international peace and security. So not just peace and security in our countries, in our country, but with the international borders and international countries also, other countries also. Okay, so that's the reason that India participates in GATT, in SARC, in all the international agreements, right? Yeah. Then now, how the power between central government, state government, and what are the things listed in their capacity to work. Okay, so we call it as a division of power. Okay, division of power. So we have union list of the things the central government has to perform. Then we have state list, the list of the things the state government has to perform, and then we have a concurrent list, that is a combination of both. Yes. In just a second. Yeah. So concurrent list is what both the state and union government has to do, central government has to do. See, union list, there are 97 subjects, and state list, we have 66 subjects, and concurrent list, 47 subjects. I just read out for your reference, okay? Number one, union list, the central government, okay? This is very longest. 97 is the very longest one, no? Big list. It has, see, union defense to safeguard the country, defense is in their hands. Foreign affairs, currency and coinage, that's why RBI plays a role. War and peace, so we have defense ministry. Atomic energy, national resources, railways, post and telegraph, citizenship, navigation and shipping, foreign trade, international state trade and commerce, banking, insurance, national highways, census, elections. See, 2024 is an election period. So already some policies have started, training for the masters are given, right? So election commission plays a vital role here. So election, institutions of higher education, that is universities and all, right? Central university, again, state universities are also there, that comes under state list. Next, we have education, higher education, and some few more are there, because 97 I cannot list, so major ones I have kept here in the slide. So this is there. Next, state government, it has 66 subjects. Yeah, within the state, whatever the things, laws have to be made, they make it, okay? And pertaining to union, central government. If it is defense, central government will look. If it is post and telegraph, they will look after, okay? Now, state list, we have public order. So that's why state police would be there, peace and harmony in the state. So we have public order, police, state court, fees, prisons, local government, then public health and sanitation. That's why municipality, MCH and MCKs and all, hospitals and dispensaries, pilgrimage within the India, okay? Intoxicating liquors, they can regulate that. Then relief of disabled and unemployable, libraries, communications, agriculture, animal husbandry, water supply, irrigation and canals, fisheries, road passenger tax and goods tax, capitation fee, and others. So these are laws pertaining to these areas. It's been levied by state. Okay. Then we have concurrent lists. Here, union parliament and the state legislatives, that is MPs and MLAs, you can say, to understand it properly. So they has the power to legislate over some subjects, and these subjects are criminal law, criminal procedure, preventive detention for reasons concerned with security of the state, marriage and divorce, transfer of property, etc. Okay, so this comes under concurrent list. Still more I have got agricultural land, contact, auctionable wrongs, bankruptcy, insolvency, trust and trustees, yeah, administration of justice, evidence and oaths. So likewise, and the other actual strength of concurrent list is 52. 5 more entities are there, in which central, in respect of concurrent list items, the central law will prevail. And that's because unity and integrity has to be maintained, right? So that is the thing you have to remember. Then what is the leftover subjects that we have categorized in residual powers? Okay, the constitution vests the residuary powers of legislation with the union government, and article 248, what it is saying is union parliament has exclusive power to make any law with respect to any matter not enumerated in the concurrent list or state list. Okay, so the subjects which are not there in a state list or concurrent list, then union government can make any law. Okay. Such power shall include the power of making any law and imposing a tax not mentioned in either of these lists. So that is why GST has come. No, right. Thus, the Constitution of India creates a clear-cut division of legislative power between union and state. So that's why you have different governments in different states, and central government is different, right? Yeah, now we'll come to know just because all the things I have dealt here, political environment, what is telling us is actions taken by the government. At the central government, at the state government, okay, which potentially affect the daily business activities of any business or company. According to a dictionary, such actions occur on a local or international scale, depending on the governmental institution's authority. Okay. See, when the election commission has said that on in a particular date in January, elections in Telangana has to occur, then the economic conditions, the political conditions, everything has changed in Telangana state. I think you are experiencing it, right? People are objecting the list, people are stating remarks that why the name is not included. So this is how things happen, right? So that is political environment. So we have three institutions: legislative, executive, and judiciary. Next is, yeah, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. So this is, no, corruption is a very evil thing in any country. It stops the economic development of any country. No, the ethics, the morals of a whole country, you can say, it derails, right? So that's why this act has come, Prevention of Corruption Act in 1988. So what this law is doing, right, and what is it is defining. See, this law defines who is a public servant. So, a government employee, right? A public servant is and punishes public servants involved in corruption or bribery. So, if they find any public servant, any bureaucrat, yeah, at a top level or at a low level, found with bribes or corruption, then they would be punished. And it also punishes anyone who helps him also or her also commit the crime, corruption, or bribery. So whoever helps also would be punished under this act. Now, what crimes are punished? So what are the crimes? See, when a public servant accepts money or gifts what above their salary in return for favoring a person in their official duties. Okay, if you're telling, no, I'll give you a job and you're taking some 5 lakhs from that person and you're found, then you're punished, right? You here means a public servant, remember that. When a public servant accepts gifts from a person with whom they have a business or official relationship without paying them. So if you have any connection, you are supposed to pay for that work and you are not paying it, and you are taking gifts instead from that person, then you are punished. You here is public servant. When a public servant is guilty of criminal misconduct, such as regularly accepting bribes to favor people during their official duty, if any person accepts money or gifts in return for influencing the public servant by using his personal connection or through illegal or corrupt methods, this person can also be punished. Any person helping the public servant commits these crimes, these are also punished. So you have to remember that this is a very strong act in India. Yeah, the union government, see, it has been amended in 2013. It was started in 88. Then some amendments, because changes are happening, right? You cannot follow all manually and all. Technology has come, things have changed a lot. So therefore, some amendments must be made. So are made in 2013. See, the Union Cabinet approved amendments to the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 that provide for classifying corruption as a heinous crime Okay, heinous crime, no, like the slavery and all, no, heinous crime and longer prison terms, both for the bribe giver and the bribe taker. Okay, so even bribe giving is also punishable. Taking is, as always, is punishable. Okay, the proposed amendment act will also ensure speedy trial. See, there's a saying in India, no, once a case is being filed, then it goes on. So many Bata shoes and all, they'll finish off, but still justice would not be given. But not in this case of corruption. Speedy trials would be given, and that may, no, most of the cases 2 years. Okay, within the 2 years, they have to settle down all the corruption cases. Next, very important act as an HRM student, as a management student, as a consumer student, and as a consumer. No, you consume things daily, right? You should know about Consumer Protection Act 1986. Now, what it is saying? It is giving us easy and fast compensation to any problems arising of buying any product or taking any services by any consumer. Okay, so remember that it safeguards and encourages consumers to speak against insufficiency and flaws in goods and services. If traders and manufacturers practice any illegal trade, this act protects their rights as a consumer. So when you are buying things, if you are buying a toothpaste or a soap and you find that its quality is not good or it is a high priced one and you can prove it through your bill and all, then the company would be punished and you will be safeguarded and you are given compensation as well. See, now what it is guaranteeing us, this act, okay, CP Act, what it is saying is it is giving us 8 rights. You should know as a consumer. Right to safety. See, it is our primary duty to take goods and services of safety only. See, if you have bought some face cream and once you have applied, it is allergic to you. Not only you, but others also, some 5, 6 members also, those who are not skin allergic also are facing the same. That means the quality is not good and it is not safe for the health of the or the skin health of the consumer. Then you can file a case against that company and you can get compensation. Okay, so right to safety is our primary right. Next is right to be informed. So it is the primary duty of any businessman to give all the details on their product. So that is where you pick up any item. It's if it's a food item or a clothing or anything, you will see all, even pharma or medical or even no Dolo 650 or whatever paracetamol tablets or syrups and all. You will find all the details. What ingredients are used, when it will expire, what is the minimum price fixed for it, yeah, and how to use it, all these things. Because because of this Consumer Act, it is saying that it is our primary duty as consumer that company should inform us what these things contain, what the product contains, what services are there. That is why even if heart surgery is been done, they will videograph it and give you a CD for it. Okay, because you are taking the service of a doctor there, right? Okay, right to choose. See, the companies cannot force us to take their product only. We have got plenty of choices, right? Many alternatives are available. It's our wish and will to choose any product. Next is to right to consumer education. See, we have to know about Consumer Protection Act. We have to know our rights, where to apply when we are being cheated by the company or by the retailer or any other, right? You have to know this. So consumer education, that's why from I remember, ninth class onwards they are adding one chapter, consumer education. They are training the child to understand the consumer education. See, when I was teaching this to my child, he applied it when he went to buy a water bottle. See, water bottle, no, its cost is 10 rupees, but that person has taken 12 rupees from my child. I'm telling you a practical example. Yeah. See, then he asked, why you are taking 2 rupees when it is written 10 rupees over there? Then that retailer, what he said is, I have refrigerated it, no, for the cool water I am taking. Is it written? He said. And then he took a bill and all. Then he was afraid. He said he must be knowing about consumer education. And then he gave 2 rupees back and he brought it. So what I mean to say is, as intellectuals, when we know about any act, we have to apply it. Okay, so that's why children are being taught about consumer education. Even you are being included these chapters, because you should not be cheated, but you should keep the bill properly. When you fill your petrol, also 1 liter of petrol in your bike, check that, because many will deceive you, right? For that also there is one system. You can just tell that person to fill a can which is fixed in the retail there, petrol bunks and all. There you find a can where there is a small hole at the brim of that can. If they fill it, no, 5 liters, you tell him to fill it. That's a 5 liter, because it is given by measures and weights from the collectorate office. You have a ministry of this ways and all, your department, right? Then they'll just see if it comes to that particular hole, then it is correct. It is coming below, that means you are cheated. Petrol, which is being in lesser quantities. Okay, such things are there. So you have to know about consumer education. Then right to be heard. So if you have any complaint, there must be somebody to hear your complaint, isn't it? So that's why district forums are there, state commissions are there, and then national commissions are there at the top. Okay, so right to be heard and right to take redressal. Okay, if that case is there, they have to file it, they have to hear it, and then compensation must be given if it is proved, or the aggrieved parties must be brought together to listen to their complaints. Okay, next is right to basic needs. Yeah, basic needs, whatever is there, you should be able to know, get it. Okay, basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter, right? They cannot hoard in their godowns and keep it, especially food items and all, right? Especially rice, dal, and other basic needs. Right to healthy environment, right? Healthy environment must be given to the consumers. So these are the rights. Yeah. Next is now how this functions, right? Structure of this act. The act envisages three-tier quasi-judicial machinery at the national level, at the state level, and at the district level. Okay. National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, we call it as National Commission. It is dealing with the complaints involving costs and compensation higher than 20 lakhs. Okay. See, if you have brought a product of 20 lakhs and you found that it is not qualitative and all, then you have to complain to the National Commission. And then when it is less than that, then you have to go to a state consumer disputes if it is 5 and more, okay, but below 20. And districts forums up to 2 to 5 lakhs, okay. Below that, you can approach district consumer disputes redressal forums. Next, what is consumer? Who is a consumer actually? Yes, any individual who purchases products or services for his personal use and not for manufacturing or resale is called a consumer. See, I brought some cotton, and if I'm using it for myself or just dusting or putting something, then I am a consumer. Okay, now I brought that and making, this battis and all, and then I'm selling it, then I'm not a consumer. I'm a business person. Okay, so remember that. A person who consumes, but he doesn't sell it to others, right? We call him as consumer. So that such consumers are taken in the purview of Consumer Protection Act. Then what are the measures initiated by the government towards this consumer protection? Yeah, one is statutory regulation. Okay, that is law is made, acts are made. These are acts are, see, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. See, if you find no kali mirchi and all, if there are papaya seeds in it, then it is adulteration. Okay. And in the mirchi powder, if bricks powder is added, that is adulteration. And in the ghee, if dalda is added, that is adulteration. Yeah. So then this act is saying that you can make a complaint using this act. Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, Essential Commodities Act, right? Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act, Drugs Control Act, Drugs and Cosmetics Act, Standards of Weights and Measurement Act. See, when I told you that petroleum example, no, that comes under Standards of Weights and Measures Act. See, whenever you go to buy tomatoes or anything from the vegetable vendors, tell them to keep a 1 kg weigh there, not just one stone there. They say that it is 1 kg, madam, take it, 1 kg, sir, take it. No, you see that 1 kg weigh is kept on the one side, and then tomatoes or whatever things you are buying on the other side, right? Don't allow them to keep stones, okay? Because this act is saying they have given a standard to them, no? 1 kg standard, 2 kg standard, 5 kg, quintal, ton, and all, right? So, drugs and magic remedies. Yeah, drugs and magic remedies, objectionable advertisements, act. See, objectionable ads also are prevented. You cannot show nudity of persons or children or women, and also that's all objectionable. Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, Prevention of Black Marketing and Maintenance of Essential Commodities Act. Yeah, Air Prevention and Control Pollution Act. All these things are benefit for the consumers. Just a minute. Okay, so I heard that you have another class, so I'll just stop with the objectives of Consumer Protection Act. See, consumer protection, it's essential for healthy economy, and there is a need for this, especially no physical protection of the consumer. See, no part of your body should be affected by using that good or by taking those services. Yeah, that is one. Then protection against deceptive and unfair trade practices. Unfair trade, high price for it, and no hoarding and then selling when the price rises. These are all unfair trade practices. So your protection is given against these. Protection against all types of pollution, air, water, or whatever it is. So protection from all these things. Protection against the abuse of monopoly position or restrictive trade practices. See, when government has said that these trade are not to be practiced, then it should not be practiced, okay? And protection of enjoying the rights. So if you are, you know your rights, you have to enjoy it. If they are telling you not to enjoy that, then you can file a case against. So protection of enjoying these rights are also the objectives of this Consumer Protection Act. So with these I'll conclude today's class. Okay. Thank you. Thank you one and all for patience hearing. Bye for now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.